Politicians are fucking douchebags. And douchebags rarely ever get their comeuppance. Except for this one particular GOP leader in the state Congress of Tennessee. That's right. A member of the Republican leadership in the Tennessee House of Representatives was found guilty of sexually harassing legislative interns. Okay? 6 hours after we first confronted Republican Representative Scotty Campbell, he has now resigned. This guy was a part of the group that voted for all 3 of the representatives in Tennessee to be expelled. This happened. This literally happened yesterday. It's hot off the presses. Let's take a look. This is one of the funniest, not very shocking, but one of the funniest fucking interactions I've ever seen.
Breaking news. This is News Channel 5 at 6.
We have just received a letter from him resigning immediately, and we accepted it. All right, thank you.
And with that, House Speaker Cameron Sexton announces the resignation of a member of his Republican leadership team just hours after News Channel 5 investigates exposed a sexual harassment scandal involving that lawmaker. Hello, everyone. I'm Carrie Sharp.
And I'm Vicki Yates. Representative Scotty Campbell was among those who recently voted to expel the Tennessee Three, but it turns out Campbell and the GOP.
I need y'all to understand something. While the Tennessee House of Representatives was voting on the expulsion of the Tennessee Three, the Republican Leadership Committee in the Tennessee House of Representatives was aware that one of their own in the Leadership Committee was responsible for sexually harassing 19-year-old college students who were legislative interns. They knew that was happening. They never even talked about it. They let this guy keep operating. No investigation is telling. No, there was an investigation. That's the funniest part. There was literally so many accusations that they had to fucking do an investigation. They just did it quietly.
Had their own secrets.
As our Phil Williams discovered, Campbell had quietly been found guilty of sexually harassing legislative interns, but nothing had happened, Phil, until today.
That's right. We discovered that the East Tennessee Republican had been found guilty in that secret process of sexually harassing the college interns, accused of some extremely vulgar behavior. But Campbell didn't lose his leadership post in the Republican caucus or his committee seats. That all changed within hours after we confronted him this morning.
Hey, Representative Campbell. How are you, sir?
We wanted to give the East Tennessee Republican a chance to respond to the findings of our latest investigation of Tennessee's Capitol Hill.
As I understand, you admitted to sexually harassing this intern?
Give me just 5 seconds. Okay.
In fact, Scotty Campbell already knew we were investigating some serious allegations.
Hold on just a second.
About his relationship with at least one
Give me 5 seconds. Let me take a sip of my coffee real quick, brother.
Legislative intern, although he would soon divulge there was a second intern.
Which direction do I need to look for your camera?
Just look at me.
Campbell is vice chair of the House Republican caucus, and when 3 Democrats engaged in a gun violence protest on the House floor, he voted to expel all 3. Yet this memo, obtained by News Channel 5 Investigates, shows a secret ethics panel recently concluded that based on a staff investigation, the ethics subcommittee finds that Representative Campbell violated the legislature's sexual harassment policy.
I had consensual adult conversations.
In order for a Tennessee Republican to violate their ethics rules, you got to go above and beyond. And this man, Representative Scotty Campbell, certainly did. Don't worry, more details will come in a brief moment. But just take my word for it. He definitely did do a bunch of fucked up shit.
Conversations with two adults. Off property.
One doesn't get written up for consensual conversations. The letter says that you were guilty of violating the harassment policy.
I think conversations are consensual once that's verbally agreed to. And if I choose to talk to any intern in the future, it will be recorded.
One of the interns had an apartment in Capitol Towers, a condo apartment complex next to the Capitol, where Campbell also had a place. The Republican lawmaker allegedly saw her and a 19-year-old intern going into her apartment. According to an account the victim sent to her university, Campbell made comments about how he was in his apartment imagining that we were performing sexual acts on one another, and how it drove him crazy knowing that was happening so close to him. The woman added, "I uncomfortably explained that was not happening, and he insisted that he knew it was and asked me to tell him about it." She continued, "I explained that she is my friend, and he proceeded to describe how sexually attractive he finds her, referring to the 19-year-old intern."
You were in your apartment imagining that they were performing sexual acts on one another?
That's not true.
So she's just making that up?
Yes.
On another occasion, the woman says she went to Campbell's apartment to return a wrench she had borrowed. Quote, "He proceeded to ask how many men I've slept with. She recalled, I told him 0, and he insisted I was lying and told me not to lie. He then proceeded to ask how many women I've slept with and said he bets girls go crazy over me."
You asked her about how many men she had slept with, and then asked about how many women she had slept with?
No.
So you're saying she's just making all of this up?
I'm saying that we had a consensual adult conversation.
Then, according to the woman's account, the Republican leader offered cannabis gummies if she would show him tattoos and piercings on her body. He did.
Off the gummy, baby. It's like, listen, babe, you want to get high off the gummy? I'm talking perk 30s, baby. This ain't no Oxycontin. This is fucking straight gummies, baby. Off that Zaza gummy.
Denies it. Her story, I told him absolutely not, and he begged me for several hugs. She says I was getting progressively more afraid.
This part is also terrifying, but also kind of funny in a weird way, but it's like, he literally was like, "Where my hug at?" Classic. Classic guy. Where's my hug at? Just reeking with desperation.
And uncomfortable. He then reached out his hand towards me and grabbed me around my neck. I recoiled and said I felt sick and immediately left. Again, Campbell says he didn't think he did anything wrong.
I was told that if anything ever crossed the line, they would tell me directly. And I'm hearing it from Phil.
But remember the report from the ethics panel finding that Campbell had indeed violated the harassment policy.
So are you saying?
Like, this is what I don't get, dude. Like, what, you think you were rizzing her up? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, she literally told you, stop. He's like, well, I thought I was gonna hit that. The fuck? He's got, like, apparently has a daughter that's, like, around the same age as the girls, by the way.
Saying the ethics subcommittee is lying.
I'm saying that I did not know that a workplace policy could be enforced when you're not at work.
But News Channel 5 Investigates has...
It's so funny. Like, yeah, dude, totally. No, you can, like, literally do whatever you want to the legislative interns as long as they're not in the boundaries of the fucking House of Representatives. Yeah. That seems great. Like, how fucking stupid are you? This guy gets to have a say in the lives of, like, on matters that pertain to the lives of, like, thousands of Tennesseans, dude. It's insane. I don't get it. Isn't there like a field, like a force field? I thought, you know, like one of them kind of things. You know, I could do whatever kind of thing I want outside of the work. Like, You mean to tell me I can't kill people outside of work? Even co-workers? You think I'm going to get hit with an ethics violation if I kill one of my co-workers outside of work? I don't understand you. I thought this was Tennessee the way God intended.
Learned that legislative officials took the complaints against Campbell so seriously that they've now spent thousands of dollars to get the intern out of her lease at Capitol Towers, to move her furniture back home, and to put her up in a downtown hotel until her internship is done. As for how Campbell thinks his vote to expel the Tennessee 3 squares with his own
This part is hilarious.
They broke the House rules of decorum.
And you broke the House policies regarding sexual harassment, according to this letter.
I had a consensual conversation with adults. And when the adults informed me that we could talk and that there weren't guardrails, I talked to who I thought were my friends.
Friends whose definition of friendship appears to be far different from this Republican's idea of what it means to be a friend.
Again, Representative Campbell resigned about 6 hours after we confronted him with those allegations. Still, there are lots of questions that are not answered. Why did Speaker Sexton and other Republican leaders not act more decisively?
Yeah. Why did he resign after it was made public by News Channel 5's investigative reporting team? Like, they knew about it for some time. They investigated it. The investigation concluded. He didn't fucking resign after the investigation concluded. He fucking resigned after it was made public.